AP Stedham with the first one.
Hey, DeVonta. DeVonta, I was wondering, do you like playing on the surface and indoors?
I couldn't hear you.
Do you mind repeating that, AP? We're having trouble hearing you.
Oh, okay. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Do you like playing on the surface and indoors?
Do I like playing? I kind of like grass better, but I mean, at the end of the day, it don't matter where I play, I'm always ready.
Tony Sakalas with the second question.
Yeah, DeVonta, can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, DeVonta, did you talk with Jalen Waddle after that punt return, and what did he have to say about it if you did?
He was just like, that's dirty. He was like, I ain't gonna bring up the conversation, but he was just like, it's dirty.
Michael Casagrande, over to you.
Yeah. What do you remember about Mac as a scout team quarterback and his competitive fire and the spirit he had out there as a scout teamer?
Mac usually just go out there and it's just like, I don't care if you're my teammates or not. I'm finna come out here and try to embarrass you every day. And I think that was just making the defense better every day. But that's just the attitude that Mac approached it with every day.
Dennis Dodd, go ahead.
Hey, DeVonta, I wonder what went through your mind after Jalen got hurt, you know, after the sympathy, after disappointment, after everything else.
Really, it was shocking because I kind of felt like it was my fault because the return shouldn't have came out. I should have told him not to come out. So I kind of felt bad. But then after a while, it was just like that's the plan that God had, and that's the route God wanted to take with him. So I can't just sit there and just put it all on myself. But it definitely made me feel some type of way. But the way I'm playing right now, all because of him. Just with him going down, just taking on a bigger role, just knowing that's something that I have to do. I'm doing it for him.
John Zener with the next question.
DeVonta, this is probably a question every player hates to get asked, but do you feel like you're the best receiver, maybe even the best player in the country?
I just go out and I just do my job.
And we'll go over to Charlie Potter.
Yeah, DeVonta, I was wondering if you've ever seen anyone throw a cleat in a football game, and what would your reaction be if that happened to you?
No comment.
Stephen Smith, you're up.
DeVonta, Alabama's had some great centers to come to the program, but what makes Landon Dickerson so special at that position at center?
Just the fire that he comes with, the competitor he is, the leader he is, just everything he does. He's the ultimate hype man. He's everything that you want in the center.
We'll go over to Mike Rodak.
Yeah, DeVonta, just to follow up on the question about Jalen there, is that part of the communication process out there? You mentioned you should have told him that he shouldn't have taken it out. Is that your job on that play, or just can you explain that part of it?
It's just, yeah, you can kind of say that, but it was kind of like I seen that he wanted it, so I was just like, let's roll.
Jeff Spiegel, go ahead.
DeVonta, after Jalen got hurt, then you had to come in and really, you were the main focus of the defense, and that's kind of been the way it is every game, yet you're still putting up phenomenal numbers. How do you approach that? You approach that as just like a challenge for you every game when you know you're being doubled and still find a way to get it done? What's your mental approach when you go out in a game like that and you know everybody's focusing on you?
I feel like when teams do that, it's just opening up more for the run game and just for the offensive line to do what they do and for Nigel to do what he do. So when teams do that, it doesn't frustrate me. I kind of look at it like, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm glad that we're a balanced team, that we can go out there and we can do both. So at the end of the day, if I don't get mine, the offensive line and Nigel's going to get theirs. So I'm still happy no matter what.
Joe Goodman, over to you.
Hey, DeVonta, I was hoping you could take me back to this summer when you were working out by yourself and just kind of go over your daily routine of what you did every day to prepare for this season?
Well, it started off with waking up at like 6 in the morning. I was by my apartment and I would just get up and run up and down the hill every morning and then go back to sleep, wake up again, go work out by landing, and then after that, go hit the field with Mac. And just try to do that probably every other day. Didn't want to do it every day to wear my body out, but that was really it, just doing that consistently.
These will be the final three. Edwin Stanton with the first.
Hey, DeVonta, you've already asked or answered the question about whether or not you think you're the best athlete in the country, but who do you think is the best athlete in the country that you've seen this year?
I don't know. It's a lot of great athletes out there. It's a lot of them. It's no one I can just say. I can't just say one particular person.
Back over to Dennis Dodd.
DeVonta, I was gonna follow up on Jalen, but at some point when he went down, did anybody tell you, or did it go through your mind that I have to be the guy now, at least among the receivers, or was that just implied?
After it happened, I came in the build Monday. I went to Coach Sark and Coach Wiggins, kind of had a talk with them about what was going on, and that was just me just wanting to be able to just step up and do more, and things just happened the way it happened. But that was really just me just being a competitor. Like, we're down a man, I do whatever I have to do for this team to keep us going in the right direction.
Final question will be from Tony Sakalis.
Yeah, DeVonta, there was a play in the Arkansas game where it looked like an Arkansas player kind of rolled on your leg a little late, and it was brought up on social media. I didn't know. Do you remember that play, and what do you remember of it?
No comment.
All right, thank you, DeVonta. We'll be bringing up the next player shortly.
And Mac, while we're waiting on questions, please take a moment to comment on the team as you enter the SEC championship game against Florida.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is a championship game, and this is why players come to Alabama and players go to Florida, is to play in games like this. So we're just really looking forward to going against a really good team this weekend.
To ask a question for Mac Jones, press *1. First question is from Charlie Potter of 247 Sports.
You about Saturday. Obviously, you guys got the win, but after you guys get back to Tuscaloosa, you were able to walk and get your degree. Just what did that mean to you, and how cool is that to share with your teammates after a win?
Yeah, it was definitely a cool experience. Just a big shout out to Alabama for getting all that done, to play a game and then be back for graduation. And obviously, we all got to kind of walk together, one after another. So just being able to be there and watch some of my teammates graduate was really cool, and definitely a great experience.
Next question is from Edgar Thompson of the Orlando Sentinel.
Yeah, hey, thanks for coming on first off, but what makes this offense so special if you had to just pick one thing, just one theme that just makes it so good?
I think it's just everybody, honestly. Obviously we have a great offensive line. It starts with those guys up front, and they've done a great job all year of being prepared in the games and picking up different pressures, and obviously doing a good job in the run game. And then we obviously have two really good running backs and even some younger running backs that have helped out. And then the wide receivers make plays every week, and it just makes everything a lot easier. And obviously tight ends too. So it takes the whole unit. It's not just one guy, and we've done a good job preparing, and our coaches have done a good job getting us ready.
So Nick Saban last night said, he talked about Kyle Trask and said he had a tough road coming up, kind of like you have. What do you know about his story, and do you see similarities in the patience and persistence you two showed to get to this point?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have a lot of respect for Kyle and for how he's handled his situation too, and I think all that's just a personal decision to stay and develop personally. That's kind of how I looked at it, and eventually we both got our chance to help out our teams, and obviously Kyle's done a great job all year long and in the past year and a half just playing great football and being a great player. So I definitely look up to him as person who's one of the best quarterbacks in the nation.
Are you pumped for the matchup with him?
Yeah, I mean, it's a matchup against, two great teams with two great quarterbacks, and he'll probably tell you the same thing, that it's about everybody else. It's not just about the quarterbacks.
Cool. Hey, thank you, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Next question is from Tony Sakalas of BamaInsider.com.
Hey, Mac. Pat kind of talked about being a Florida native and rooting for Tim Tebow growing up. I was wondering, did you pull for the Gators growing up, and what do you remember of those, 2008, 2009 Alabama-Florida game?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely was close to the University of Florida growing up, and I always watched him on TV and really just was a big Tebow fan. When he was in high school, it was just down the road. So I got a chance to watch him in high school and then obviously in college. But, obviously that's just kind of when I was growing up. You just root for the team that's closest to you. And obviously they had a great run in the beginning of the 2000s and all that, and it was fun to be able to watch.
Next question is from Jeff Spiegel of WBMA.
Mac, yesterday, Dan Mullen, when he was talking about you, he said he does a great job managing their offense, which is identical to what Bo Nix said going into the Iron Bowl, and something that DeVonta Smith said you guys kind of used as bulletin board material. What is offensive to you about being called a game manager?
I mean, nothing's really offensive. I mean, Coach Saban would probably say the same thing about me. I mean, I try and manage the game, and it's kind of my job to do that. And obviously, I have a lot of great players around me, so that's my job, to just get them the ball and try and hold on to the ball and not give the other team the ball. And there's a lot of really good players on our team that make me look a lot better than I am. And I think that, that's probably a good, accurate description of what type of quarterback I am.
Thank you.
Next question is from Michael Casagrande of AL.com.
Hey, Mac, what do you remember about going to the mall, waiting online to see Tim Tebow and get your picture taken with him back after he won the Heisman?
Yeah, that was a long time ago, but I definitely remember sitting there in line and just getting a chance to take a picture with him, and then him signing the picture with me and my family. I think we still have it somewhere at the house, so it was just a cool experience. And obviously Tim was a great player, but he also did a lot of great things off the field, and I just looked up to him when I was younger.
Were you nervous to meet him?
Yeah, probably. I would assume so, but obviously, like I said, I look up to him now, and I looked up to him back then. So, just really great guy, and just to be able to meet him then was really cool.
Thank you.
Next question is from John Zener of the Associated Press.
Yeah, Mac. Hey, I had two questions. First off, how good a job has this team done to be able to kind of maintain that high level of play, 10 Saturdays, not necessarily in a row, but basically all 10 Saturdays y'all had games this year? Hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of set that goal to just take it week by week, and we knew there was going to be a bunch of roadblocks and bumps along the way, but we definitely handled it well, from a player, coaches, and the whole organization. Kind of just took it week by week. We look up and we're undefeated, but at this point, it doesn't really matter. That stuff doesn't matter, and we're just trying to win each game each week, and it starts with this week, and at this point, we have to win all the games we play in. So it's just a mindset that we kind of set.
But do y'all hear much from Saban or from fans or whatever about that 2009 team? Because it says a lot about how hard it really is. That's the only Coach Saban team that's gone undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, we hear about it, I guess, but I think it just goes back to how they did it, and that's just focusing on each play and playing one play at a time. And then obviously we have a great team, and we fought through a lot of adversity this year, so I feel like that's definitely going to help us. But, I mean, none of that stuff matters in the past, and we just have to focus on each day.
Thank you.
Next question is from Steve Hummer of the AJC.
Mac, there's certainly a lot of guys who make use of the transfer portal now, and this game Saturday featuring two quarterbacks who very easily could have done that. What does it take to kind of stick it out and ignore that temptation of trying to find a, greener grass somewhere else?
Yeah, I mean, I always say it's a personal decision, and I think, I obviously decided to stick it out and try and just get better to help my team eventually. And I think a lot of quarterbacks did that, including Kyle is a great example. But at the end of the day, I mean, you make a choice for yourself and your family, and there's a lot that goes into it. But, yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about that.
All right.
Next question is from Edgar Thompson of the Orlando Sentinel.
I got to go back to that Tebow stuff just for a sec, please. That offense with him and Harbin was just unbelievable, and the Gators have not had great offenses in a long time. Do you see some similarities with this group and maybe that group in terms of the explosiveness and talent all over the field?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just goes back to, those are two great schools in Florida and Alabama, and they have a bunch of great players and good coaches. So, I mean, we prepare really hard, and you watch a team like that back then and see how great they were. You try and make similarities, but really each team is its own team, and football has kind of evolved a little bit. But, growing up watching those type of teams is awesome because you just got to learn the example of good college football.
Oh, great. Thank you.
No problem.
Next question is from Alan Taylor of The Athletic.
Hey, Mac, what has Sark sort of unlocked with you? As far as, what have you enjoyed about working with him these last few years?
Yeah, I mean, Sark has done a great job, coming in. Obviously, Tua is the starter and stuff, but he still got me prepared and coached me really hard to be where I want to be. And obviously, from a scheme standpoint, he's the best in the country at creating a good scheme and getting the ball to players that we want to get the ball to. So I just kind of try and see through the same lens as him. We always meet and talk about plays that we like together and things like that. So we're always on the same page. But it's been a great blessing to have him around and for him to help the entire offense get better, not just myself.
Yeah, is he a guy who gets fiery with you, or does he communicate on a level that, like you say, it's more instructional, or I don't know, like a professor type of thing, but, how does he communicate with you, and what do you like about that?
Yeah, I think, a little bit of both, but I think it's more professional. Like, he knows that at this point I played a lot of football, and we kind of see through the same lens, and we just try and stay calm on game day. Hey, what did you see out there? I saw them playing this, and then we just talk it through, and that's when we operate at our best. But at the same time, he's really competitive, and I'm really competitive, so we both, during practice, we have to work through all the things that we have for the game plan and take things out that we maybe not like and add things that we do. So the communication has been great, and we're just looking forward to continuing that this week.
Cool. And last one, man. You guys obviously haven't lost since that Auburn game last year, and you really played well in that, probably outside of two throws, man. What did that game mean to you at the time, and does it mean anything to you now as far as being, the only game that you've ever lost as a starter?
Yeah, that was definitely a good learning experience. First game, kind of getting in there playing at a big game like that when, I didn't have a lot of experience at the time, but I definitely look back on it and just thank my teammates for having my back and all the coaches for believing in me, but I definitely didn't perform to the standard that I wanted to, and I kind of just use that as an example or reminder that you just have to prepare really hard and go in there and play your heart out, and whatever happens, happens. And I kind of just use that as an example, but obviously that was a long time ago.
Sure. Hey, thanks, Matt. Congrats on a great season, man.
Thank you.
That's all the questions for you, Mac. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Patrick, for opposing defensive backs who have to cover DeVonta in games, what would be your advice? Prayer? What would be your advice to guys who have that responsibility for 60 minutes?
My advice would be locked in, stay focused. You're gonna get a competitive dude that's gonna keep on working to get what's his. He's a dominant player, and you just gotta stay locked in.
In the country?
What'd you say?
Go ahead and repeat that.
Do you think he's the best receiver in the country?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I mean, there's no lies in that. I mean, he put in the work this year, so it's obvious by now.
Charlie Potter with the next question.
Hey, Pat, have you got a chance to watch any Florida film yet? And if so, just what's your initial reaction to their passing attack?
Obviously, they got a great passing attack. They put defenses on their heels. They're very potent on offense. They use their receivers well. They, they got a great passing game and a great quarterback, that's very sound back there. So it's going to be a challenge for us,
Over to Edwin Stanton.
Yeah, Patrick, along those lines, what do you think is going to be the biggest challenge going up against this Florida team with a guy like Kyle Trask and all those receivers they have as weapons?
Just picking up on tendencies, seeing what they like to do from time to time. It's gonna be an uphill battle. So we're gonna be prepared for it, and we're gonna be locked in for the game. So, we're excited for the challenge.
Dennis Dodd, go ahead.
Sorry. Patrick, what is it about this team and this program where, you can lose a Dylan Moses, you can use a Jalen Waddle, and the next guy just steps right up with really no drop-off?
That's the difference here. You get guys that leave every year to go to the draft or leave based off eligibility. But, we just reload with new talent and new stars on the field, so it's no drop-off. It's the same expectation whenever, they come on the field,
Stephen Smith, go ahead.
Hey, Pat, Christian Barmore came out of nowhere last season, and now this year he's one of the leaders in sacking the quarterback in that pass rush. What type of, crazy energy does he bring, and where does that energy come from?
BMO, he brings a lot of energy. It actually boosts up the defense with how much energy he has. He's very tenacious. He's acting like he's angry all the time out there on the field. But we need those type of dudes on the defense, especially at the D-line. So.
Over to Mike Rodak.
Yeah, Patrick, what does Christian Harris bring to the defense when he's out in the field?
He's very versatile. He could cover. He could match up well with running backs. He's field to field with it, and he's also very smart out there. And he's a valuable asset to our defense.
Jeff Spiegel, over to you.
Yeah, Patrick, about DeVonta, since Jalen went out, the defense has kind of shifted their focus to him when it comes to your receivers. Yet his productivity has just gone through the roof. How do you explain that?
When Jalen went down, like you said, his role got even bigger. He gonna have to make the big plays, and he had to be the man on offense. But he's built for moments like that, and he's showing it right now. So he's worked for it.
Michael Casagrande, you're up.
Yeah, growing up in Florida, what did the Gators mean to you as a kid? Were you a Gator fan, or what did they mean to you?
I was some parts of a Gator fan. I used to be a big Tim Tebow fan. I remember wearing his jersey one time, and I kind of got a little mad when Alabama beat them, but it is what it is. But I was a little fan. I was really a Tim Tebow fan, though.
What do you remember about Tim Tebow in that 2009 game?
Oh, I remember the ending when he was crying. That's all I remember,
And we'll go over to AP Stedham.
Hey, Patrick. Patrick, I know it's very difficult to guard a small, fast receiver or a big, physical receiver. Which one is more challenging for you, and why?
That's a good question. It depends, really. Small, quick receivers, they usually have a fast twitch to them, and they get open quicker based off their releases. Bigger guys, it takes them time to get going, but they great at the point of attack. So it's a both situations at hand. It's a challenging to take. It's a challenge.
These will be the final two. Haley Sutton, you're up.
Hey, Patrick. Obviously, after the game, the seniors got to go to their graduation ceremony and take part in that really big honor. Did y'all get to go to the game or go to the ceremony and watch them graduate? And what was that like for you to see them hop off of the plane from the game and go to that ceremony?
Unfortunately, we didn't get to watch the graduation, but for the seniors, I know they was very excited after the game to get, to graduate. It's a big honor, a huge honor, all the dedication and work they put in off the field in the school. It's a great honor for them.
Back over to Dennis Dodd for the final question.
Yeah, sorry, Patrick. Patrick, in the second half of the season, the defense has really come together. You just count from halfway through the season, you guys may be one of the leading defenses statistically. What came together, do you think?
Just all, sense of urgency and just knowing that what we're capable of and what's the standard here. We know through the first couple of weeks we ain't really held that standard well. But we realized that, we just gotten better throughout the weeks, and we're just going to keep on trying to keep that momentum.
That's all for Pat. Thank you, Pat.